Surely and slowly, a lot of Americans are defaulting on their homes and actually losing their homes.
My mortgage payment is going up almost $500 a month. $500 every month. I have a fixed interest rate, so it's not that. Nope, it's my escrow account. Apparently, my homeowners insurance and my property taxes just skyrocketed. But nobody thought to tell me about this until I was already $3,200 short in my escrow account. So now I not only have to pay the shortage, but I also have to pay the new balance moving forward. And so I can either pay the shortage in full and my monthly mortgage goes up almost $200 a month, or I pay it out over the next 12 months and my monthly mortgage payment goes up almost $500 a month. Well, I definitely don't have $3,200 just laying around, so I guess this is the option that I have. I'm already working 70 hours a week, so I'm probably gonna have to sell my house because I can't do that. I don't know anybody who could. But I don't know where I'm gonna live after I sell my house because my ex-husband ruined my credit in the divorce this year, and so I don't know anybody who's gonna rent to me. I may end up homeless by the end of this year.
So sad. She may end up homeless this year. What a statement. What emotion is she going through? And what emotions are so many Americans going through these days?
Okay, so this comment's from a video where a realtor in Tampa Bay is talking about the trend of seeing people move out of the state of Florida, and then saw this comment, which is exactly my experience too. In the last 2 of the 5 years that I've lived here, my insurance and taxes have doubled. Both of them have doubled in the last 2 years alone. So it doesn't do you any good to have a 3% interest rate if you're going to have those extra fees rolled into your mortgage every year, rising at an unsustainable rate. That makes no sense. Pair that with the fact that the rental market isn't doing good. So I don't even have the option to rent my property out and buy somewhere cheaper because I would never break even on renting my property out unless I wanted to do an Airbnb and turn people over all the time. Pair that with raises every year at my job aren't capturing the increase. It's insane.
Basketball too.
My own policy on my house went from about $1,700 to $4,000 in 1 year. Now, keep in mind, I didn't file a single claim. I didn't ask for a new roof. I didn't do any of that. But because so many people in the state of Florida did, these insurance carriers had to find a way to pass the cost for what they were enduring as far as claims and lawsuits down to the consumer if they were going to stay in business. Now, that isn't something that I think necessarily everyone was real excited to see. Matter of fact, I know they weren't, but it was shocking because it came without warning. And then the following year, they increased again.
Americans thought their fixed mortgage meant security, but now they're being forced to sell just to stay afloat. There has been close to 2 million defaults filed on FHA loans alone so far in the last year or so. You are not alone. When you bought your home, you probably made a smart decision. You bought what you could afford, what your realtor told you, what your lender told you, but nobody told you that after you buy a house, you have a fixed mortgage payment if you got a fixed loan, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. Nobody told you that your fixed payment is not fixed payment. Yes, that's true. Your principal and interest is fixed for 30 years, but your taxes and insurance keeps rising and rising. The sad truth is, in the last 2 to 3 years, they have not risen. They have skyrocketed out of reach of many of the homeowners. And that's what's causing many people to be behind on payments, not being able to afford the payments, and are being forced to sell their homes. And many of them cannot sell because in a lot of areas, the home prices have gone down, or they cannot sell because now they cannot buy a smaller house because their credit is ruined. so they won't get a loan, and at the same time their credit is ruined, so they won't be able to rent. So this is a dire situation, and it's increasing by the month, by the day, throughout USA.
All right, so quick PSA. Yesterday night, for whatever reason, I decided to look at my mortgage payment. Come to find out, our mortgage payment went up by
900.
almost $900. My original payment was $42.37, and it was now $51.27. I ended up going on our webpage to check and see what the reasoning behind of our mortgage going up was, and it turned out to be that we were going to be in an escrow shortage. I decided to call our loan company this morning to find out that we had two options. Option number one, March 1st, we were going to get charged a new mortgage payment, $51.27. Or I can make a one-time payment of almost $6,000. And basically, they were going to include this for the new escrow. But my mortgage payment was also not going to go back to the original payment. It was going to go up to $46.70 because they were going to start charging me the money for the following year for escrow, so I wouldn't be short. So if you guys happen to be in the Sacramento County area and you have a house and a mortgage, make sure that you double check it. It was going to be a total surprise if it happened to just get deducted off our account, because
This is happening not just in Sacramento, but everywhere in California, on every state, especially Florida and Texas and Denver. So all states are having issue with sky high insurances and sky high property taxes, not to mention sky high other costs, which we will talk about later on when it comes to maintaining and repairing your home.
I really thought that if I paid my mortgage payments in full and on time every month, that I wouldn't lose my house. That's not exactly what's happening. Our escrow analysis finally came the morning of my 40th birthday. I'm in the bed drinking my coffee at an antebellum home in Natchez, Mississippi, and I get an email, and I'm like, I shouldn't open this like on my 40th birthday, whatever. But I've been waiting for it. I didn't think it was going to be anything. I thought it was going to be like no big deal, like no change. I open it, $3,700, second year in a row, shortage. Our mortgage payment will now be $2,700 a month, which is $600 more than it was supposed to be when we took out the loan. Isn't that fun? Yeah. I can't pay it. I mean, like, we can't pay it. It's insurance. Our insurance is going up $400, annually. So I called my insurance agent today, and she was like, okay, so that was last year, because like they did that like for the previous year. So she was like, okay, that was last year, but I did get yours a couple days ago for this year, the renewal, and it's going to be going up another $300 this year. If it went up $300 last year and we're at $3,700 shortage, even if like I pay the shortage in full now to keep the thing the same, the payment the same, we're just gonna have another $3,700 shortage again next year because insurance is still going up again, $300 again. I'm calling the mortgage company tomorrow. I'm depressed, like, obviously. I'm unmotivated to do anything. I'm not getting things done. I need to call a realtor to find out what needs to go on, because like June 1st is gonna come, and like I'm not gonna have $2,700 to give them. I mean, I'll have to. I don't have a choice. Like, I pay when I have a payment due, I pay it 100% in full on the due date, no exceptions. It will be paid. Period. Then I'll have to pay for like all the selling the house junk, like fixing anything, and might have to sell this beautiful house and get a smaller one. When we bought this house, like our first house that we lived in for 10 years, my last payment on that mortgage was less than $1,000. So I don't know if you have any comments, or, nice, mean, whatever, or like I don't know, what can I do? Tell me what to say to the mortgage company. Tell me what to say to my insurance agent if I have to talk to her again. Tell me what to say to a realtor. I don't even know what realtor I'm going to use. Have you ever experienced anything like this before? Do your thing, TikTok.
Many Americans are working extra. I know of a couple through another broker. They are working, both wife and husband, double shifts, working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. and the weekends, and they still cannot make the payments. They feel trapped. They cannot make the payment. The stress is not just financial, but it's also a mental stress. A lot of people are stressed out and really, really angry and mad that they bought the house assuming they'll have fixed payments. Now they cannot afford the payments and they're on the verge of losing their homes. People feel defeated, ashamed, overwhelmed. I've seen it firsthand with some of my clients.
I honestly wish somebody would have told me how overrated it is to own a home. My fiance and I just sold our house. We are back to renting. I am ecstatic. He's ecstatic. We're saving so much. We were really young and stupid when we bought our house, so I'll give you that. But the weight that has been lifted off of our shoulders is, I can't explain it. There is so much maintenance that comes with the house, and our mortgage was ridiculously expensive. I can't even say the number because I'm embarrassed. We are probably not going to buy again for a very long time, or at least until we find our forever home. Just a PSA. If you're not ready for the maintenance and the cost that it comes to own a house, don't do it. Take your time. Please take your time. Find a good realtor.
So when you bought your house, did your lender or your realtor tell you that other than your PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance, and other costs, that you are going to have for sure 100% minimum repair cost and upgrade cost? Every house that you buy, regardless if it's old, currently 20 years old, or a brand new home, there are always repair costs that none of the buyers think about, and then they get trapped.
We bought Olivia's childhood house 2 years ago, and I thought this was going to be what our page would look like, but instead I'm making a 2-year update on everything that's gone wrong since. This is one of our longer videos, but trust me, you're going to want to watch it all the way through. Day 1. Yep, day 1 we had to tear out all of our floors because of a huge water leak flood. The movers left the refrigerator, icebox, water line running, and it flooded our downstairs. Not long after that, we got a lot of rain, and I realized there was a leak in an obscure spot in our attic, so we had to get that part of the roof fixed. Then I was mounting a TV on my fireplace, and I had to go behind it and saw some mold. Turns out there was a lot more mold than I realized, and we ended up having to do a massive mold remediation. Now, normally we wouldn't DIY something like this, but we had to fire 3 different companies that were
$28,000. That's the official update on price for what it's going to cost us to fix the house that we just bought because the people who flipped it cut so many corners. So I posted a video about how, and I could like cry making this because it's so frustrating, but I posted a video, whatever this comment is, talking about how my basement was leaking, and we opened up the wall and you can see where the new pipe is and you can see where the old pipe is. And there's a hole in the old pipe that they tried to like fill with concrete from my understanding. And so we have to replace all of the old pipe in the house, and it's the piece that leads out to the sewer. So we also have to replace the piece of pipe that leads out to the sewer. So we have to like excavate the yard. And that project's gonna cost like roughly $12,000. So add that on to our $16,000 electrical bill. Like, guys, I'm a teacher. Like, I don't know how to pay for this. And our house right now is not livable because we can't use the shower or the toilets or the sinks. And so they're gonna have to be able to finish the plumbing work by the end of the month, or we can't live here because we can't use like the water. And our apartment lease is done at the end of April, and I genuinely don't know what to do. And our families have helped us so much, and I can't ask them for more money. It's so hard. Buying a house, my first house with my husband, is so hard. And yes, maybe this is our fault because we didn't do our research. I don't know. I'm scared and I'm frustrated. So I'm gonna have to make a new video about how many views I need for TikTok to help pay for my house, because it's gonna be more than 16 million because it's more than $20,000. So I will report back with more updates as I get them.
You're new here? We're the Reber family, and we bought an absolute dump without knowing
With
it.
listing photos that looked like this.
And an inspection report that passed with flying colors. I had no idea that we were walking into what would become our biggest nightmare. Starting with the bathroom remodel that we never intended to do. Everything in this bathroom was rotting. Black mold and decay, completely masqueraded by layers of silicone, tile, and paint. One thing led to another, and we found a sewer pipe underneath our house that had been leaking for 5 years or more. It had completely eroded away the foundation. New remediation was our only option when we discovered the floor lasagna, the horrible termite infestation that was lurking underneath it. Found major foundational issues, rain and fire damage that had been covered up. Also found that the main sewer was leaking and back graded. Also know that sometime before we moved into the house, it had been replaced and worked on because it was done with PVC. Everything else in the house was cast iron or orange burn. It wasn't noted anywhere in our seller disclosures. We also found that the whole roof was rotted and burnt through. The fireplace had caused some sort of attic fire. Someone knew about it and covered it up. The issues don't stop there. We've dealt with flooding, main floor supports being completely eaten by termites, human and animal remains found underneath our house. Our house is built out of block and every single wall was compromised due to the footings falling apart underneath it. So basically what I'm telling you is that nothing in this house was salvageable. This has been a 4-year process that we've had to completely foot the bill for. Insurance failed us, and since we can't afford an attorney, that's just what we've had to do. You're wondering? Yes, we still have a mortgage. And last year I was hospitalized due to the black mold. My lungs were so swollen that they were pushing up against my ribs. It was then that we decided to buy an RV and live on our property while we completely remediate this thing. We've been asked, why don't you just bulldoze the house and start over? Same reason we can't get an attorney. Same reason we bought a tiny house. We can only do what we can afford. So far, that has been little.
Does the American dream of owning a home sounds like a financial trap, a mental trap? It's no longer the American dream. It's a wallet guzzler today. It's understandable that when you bought this house, you thought, hey, my payment's $3,000 a month. I can afford it for the next 30 years. But you are not ready for the jump that $3,000 is now $4,000 a month, and it's $5,000 a month. And in 5 years, it could be $7,000 a month. And guess what? Your income is not going to catch up with it. So the American dream is becoming the American nightmare. But regardless of that, if you have payment, if you are struggling, or if you know who is struggling to make payments financially, emotionally, physically, there is no need to lose the house. There is no need to be behind on payments. You could dispute the payments. You can appeal the property taxes. Talk to your lender. See if they can give you a relief on payments. Maybe you want to recast the loan. Maybe you can appeal the property taxes. Get a new quote from your insurance company and see if you can drop insurance rates. Even if it's $100 a month, $50 a month, anything can help. One of the things I highly suggest is talk to your lender or your realtor and review your escrow account. Go through it. See where you can make any changes. If you have to refi, maybe on a refi, even if you have a 4%, 5%, and the rates are 6.8%, you may want to refi for an extra 30 years or do something, pay up points so you can drop your payment so you can save your house. Drop a comment if you're facing this. Let's help each other out and share what you are going through so other homeowners, other buyers know what to do or what not to do should they be in a similar situation or should they get into a similar situation. Some of the things that I know homeowners are doing is that if they have an extra room or 2 rooms, or in California, you can convert the garage to a house or livable condition, then you can rent it out. So if your payment is $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, especially in Southern California, that payment is very common. And if you have a room or a garage that's vacant, or you can be made it into a living area, you can rent it out. You can get easily $800 to $1,000 a month. So anything you can do like that to help you with the payments is helping you with the mortgage and help you save the home. If you are anticipating issues or financial stress down the years, 1 or 2 years, nice 3 bedrooms, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom house, you may want to consider downsizing now before you get into trouble. There's nothing wrong with saving your financial situation. So don't feel that, hey, you have to downsize. It's a sad thing to do, but it's the right financial decision to do. For those that are truly trapped, downsizing early may prevent future financial stress. Some homeowners are adding ADUs or renting a room short-term where legal to offset any other cost and to increase any income they can. Buying a home in America has always been the American dream. Moving on, I personally don't think that's an American dream. Not only that, homes are unaffordable today. Most of the people, most Americans cannot afford the homes, cannot afford the payments. So what is the new American dream? Let us know.